Chapter 1, Section 8, Solving Equations by Adding or Subtracting. In this lesson, we're going to learn to solve equations using addition and subtraction. An equation is a mathematical sentence that uses an equal sign to show that two expressions have the same value. Inverse operations undo each other. We're going to use inverse operations to help us solve these equations. The inverse of addition is subtraction. Subtraction will undo addition. The inverse of multiplication is division. Division will undo multiplication. Now remember, you can add or subtract the same number to both sides of an equation and the equation will remain true. So if you subtract the same number from each side of the equation will remain true. If you add the same number to both sides of the equation will remain true. Now, when we're going to take a look at example A, 10 plus n equals 18. We want to isolate the variable. In the equation 10 plus n equals 18, the variable is n. When I say isolate the variable, that means I want to get the variable n all by itself. So, when we look at this equation, we see that n is on the left-hand side of the equal sign, and it is not by itself. It has this 10 being added to it. So we need to undo 10 being added to n. So how do we undo 10 being added? We're going to subtract 10 on the left side of the equation. Now we can do that as long as we subtract 10 on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side of the equal sign. So on the left hand, 10 minus 10 is going to equal 0. So on the left-hand side we would have 0 plus n, or n is all by itself. It's isolated. On the right-hand side, 18 minus 10 comes up to be 8. So we have successfully isolated the variable. We have solved for n. N is equal to 8. In example B, I have 22 equals y minus 11. Again, we want to isolate the variable y. We want to get it by itself so that our answer is on the opposite side of the equal sign. So, in this equation, 22 equals y minus 11. Y is on the right-hand side, and it is not by itself. From y we are subtracting 11. So, what can I do to undo subtracting 11, to get rid of subtracting 11? I can add 11 to the right-hand side. I can do that as long as I add 11 to the left-hand side of the equal sign. So this subtracting 11 and adding 11, that will cancel out. So I will only have the letter y on the right-hand side. So I have successfully isolated the variable. Let's simplify the left-hand side. 22 plus 11 comes out to 33. So y is 33 in this equation. So if I take 33, I can put it back in the original equation, and it has to work. Otherwise, my answer is wrong. So 33 minus 11 does equal 22.